uncle suffered up until he died. Yet here I am just moaning and groaning, complaining. Power is on my side.
Hello everyone, this is Magnificent Kimberly. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. First and foremost, I just want to thank you all for 291 subscribers to my YouTube channel. I'm praying that I can get to 300 either by the end of this month or by the beginning of next month. That is my subscriber milestone goal that I'm trying to reach. So again, I just want to thank you all for subscribing to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to talk about the positive aspects of single parenting or single motherhood, whether you're a single parent or a single father. But my audience, I feel like my audience is more so single mothers, so this is going to be more so for the single mothers. But this can also apply to you even if you are a single father. And the reason why I want to do this topic because there are a lot of negatives talked about when it comes to single parenthood. When it comes to single parenthood, and there's also a lot of social societal stigmas when it comes to single mothers. So I wanted to talk about the positive aspects of single parenthood in general, because I feel like the positive aspect is often not talked about enough. And so I really want to put like a positive spin on single parenthood and single motherhood, because again, it's not seen in a positive light, especially if you are a single mother, that you will have an increased bond. So single parents often or tend to develop a more stronger intimate bond with their children due to increased time spent together. So this means time allocated to your child, whether more so spending time with your child. When it comes to spending time with your child, learning what their interests are, learn about who they are and who they're becoming, being involved and invested into their life, all aspects of life, that is, being involved in their learning, being involved in every single aspect of their life, and everything like that. And even outside of their learning and their education and interests and everything like that. I feel like single parents, the positive aspect is that single parents are thoroughly involved in their child's life. Will be independence. Single parents learn to be self-sufficient and independent, which can be empowering and also confidence building. So single parents often have to be independent because they can't. I'm not saying all single parents can't depend on the other parent, but I feel like the main system that single parents can depend on is either the government, their job if they have a job, if they work, or their village size support system. A lot of single parents are not able to depend on the other parent, because the other parent, even if the other parent does show up and does do what they're supposed to do, it's not guaranteed that it's always going to be like that every single time. You know what I mean? So we often have learned or have mastered the skill of independence, of being independent, of knowing how to be independent, but we have not mastered the skill of learning how to be interdependent or learning how to be dependent on others in general. The third thing is resilience. So single parents are so resilient and perseverant. That's what it is. But resilience also matches that. So single parents face a lot of challenges and barriers and obstacles in their life, especially as a single parent. But resilience is part of that. Resilience is when you're able to overcome your adversities, overcome any trials and tribulations that are thrown your way, that are thrown in your path. And so single mothers and single fathers, they are able to overcome a lot of the barriers and obstacles that has been placed in their path. And that is through God and God only, you know what I mean? But also through, their faith, hard work, not giving up, basically through continuing to try, continuing to move forward, honestly. Another positive aspect is that single parents can be a positive and a great healthy role model for their children. And so this can be through demonstrating hard work, determination and responsibility, through setting boundaries, setting expectations and rules for their child to follow. Even if the child does not want to follow those rules, I feel like later in life, their child will understand the importance of why the parent, whether the mother or the father, set those particular rules, boundaries, expectations for them. Because it is important to follow rules, not to just have rules and boundaries and expectations, but it's also important to follow those rules, boundaries, and expectations, and to have your own rules, your own boundaries, your own expectations of your own. If you're a child, watching this, is also important to have those of your own one day, and you'll soon understand why your parents have these caveats in place. I couldn't find another word for it. So flexibility. So single parents may have more flexibility in terms of making decisions and setting routines. So often single parents, if they have the child most of the time or all the time, they often will know what's best for their child, and they also will try to create or have some flexibility to work around the child, so that they can be there for their child. They also, not all, but most great healthy single parents who want to raise healthy, positive, great, amazing children, they do have their child's best interests at heart and in mind. They also do set routines, and setting routines, like I said in one of my other videos, is really important to create a routine for your child to follow, so that they can get used to the idea of following a routine in general. And also, a single parent doesn't always have to consider the other parent's opinions. Of course, if the other parent is involved in some way, shape, or form, of course, I would say if y'all are on good terms and y'all have a great co-parenting relationship, okay, that's great. If not, or if there is like no co-parenting relationship or whatever, you don't really need to consider other parents' opinions and feelings or whatever. Only because if you are the one who is raising the child and taking care of the child, their opinions about what they would want you to do, whatever, doesn't really matter unless they step up and contribute in some way or help in some form. You know what I mean? So, and I don't just mean help financially. I mean help to raise your child. You know what I'm saying? If you want an opinion about your own child, you should act like you want to be in their life, and this goes for either or. So this can go for the other parent who's a man or the parent who is a woman. Personal growth. So single parent can signify or produce personal growth, and single parents will often learn how to prioritize their own needs and well-being. And this doesn't mean that we prioritize our needs over our child's needs. This means that even if you're a single parent, it's still important to prioritize some form of self-care, some form of meeting your own needs, and some form of having of your well-being being in a good state, your mental health being in a good state, because you can't be the best parent that you can be if you're not good, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not prioritizing and trying to meet some of your own needs. You know what I mean? So as much as it is important to meet the needs of your child, it's also important to meet your own needs, and it's also important to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, And so like I said before, raising a child definitely takes a village. So you need to have a village or support system intact, or not intact, but you should seek some form of a support system to depend on, to lean on for any form of support. And also, I said this before, but when you are offered help, learn how to receive it, learn how to accept it, because you can't afford to not accept help at this point, especially if your child is younger. Like if they're like 4 and under, you can't afford to be like, oh no, I'm good, I don't need help. You can't afford to say that. You know what I mean? Of course, you have the choice, the free will to say, no to certain things, of course, and to make your own decisions still. But again, if the help is genuine and they're willing to help you, then please learn how to say yes. Please learn how to accept it and receive it. Next one is financial management and time management. So single parents also often learn how to manage their finances. So through single parenthood, it forces you to learn how to manage your finances, to learn how to budget, to learn how to save, because you are not only caring for yourself, but you're also caring for a younger one, and you're putting their needs before you. So you need to learn how to manage your finances effectively. And I would say this is a good thing because part of adulting and growing up is learning how to manage your finances. So if you're able to manage your finances effectively, I say you're doing well in life. You know what I mean? Okay, and time management. So single parents also develop excellent time management skills, whether that's juggling work or going to the gym, meal prepping for you and your child or your family, and managing finances and other responsibilities. So that's also another good thing because, you know, learning how to manage your time and your finances, I feel like they go hand in hand. Appreciation for support. So I think I already spoken this a little bit, but single parents often support that they receive from either family, friends, and community, where they foster gratitude and humility, and where their support system grows even stronger. And maybe one day they'll also be able to be a great support system for others, even self-reliant. So single parents often become dependent on themselves, or they learn how to be reliable, to rely on themselves. Like I said, I'm not able to rely on other parents, so I do tend to rely on myself. But also, most importantly, I not only do rely on myself, but I also rely on my family, and I rely on God. Most importantly, God is the main person, my Father in heaven, who I rely on for every single thing, who I go to for every single thing, because I know that He will always provide, and does. God always has provided for me. So I'm super grateful for God and Jesus and everything that they have done for me in my life. But yeah, single parents often learn how to handle and become efficient in multiple various tasks, or even learn how to multitask, which is an important skill, or can be an important skill, especially in a job. Multitasking, I think, is actually a great skill to have when applying to jobs or looking for work. And lastly, we have emotional intelligence. So I already talked a little bit about this in my last video, with raising kids, raising it was something about biblical parenting and stuff like that, where I did talk a lot about emotional intelligence. Single parents, they may develop a higher level of emotional intelligence as they learn how to navigate emotions and relationships. And again, emotional intelligence is when you're able to manage your emotions in a healthy way, when you're able to express and release your emotions in a healthy way, and also when you're able to handle and manage the emotions of others to a point where, or to a level where, you're able to be the calm for them, be the calm in the storm when they're going through their storm and stuff like that. So emotional intelligence is really important to have, and I would say that a lot of single mothers, single parents, do possess emotional intelligence. Now, I'm not saying all of them do, and of course all of us could use some work and improvement in some areas, because there are some areas where we are weak at. But I want to reiterate that there is no perfect single parent. There's no perfect parent in general. There's no perfect single mother, and there's no perfect single father. But I know that we are all doing the best we can to be the best parents that we can be. And I say parents because we, although I did say single parent a lot in this video, because legally or legalistically, realistically, we are a single parent. But from a biblical standpoint, we are not a single parent. We are just a parent who is raising, our children on our own, our child on our own, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, God got you. God will provide. He always provides, and God, every single parent's experience is unique to them, and so what works for one family or one family dynamic in a household may not work for another, and that is completely okay. But again, I just wanted to do a video talking about the positive aspects of single parenting, because the positive aspects, I feel like, to me, there's not a lot of videos on YouTube talking about the positive aspects of single parenthood, single motherhood, single fatherhood. There's a lot of great things that come with being a single parent. There's a lot of lessons that come with being a single parent. And it may sound weird to say, like, how could there be lessons from being a single parent, especially if you had your child out of wedlock. And I can understand why someone say that, because yes, having a child out of wedlock, yes, is a sin, and everything like that. However, the deed is done, the child's already here, and once you repent and turn away from, your mistakes, your decisions, your ways, God doesn't remember that sin anymore. So it doesn't matter to him as long as you repent and turn away from it. Also, God sees children as a blessing. So it really doesn't matter how your child came into this world. Your child born out of wedlock, every child that isn't born out of wedlock is important to God. To God, they have a purpose. To God, they matter. To God, they have they are valuable. God sees value in them. God sees value in us. Even through our mistakes, even through our flaws. You know what I mean? So don't forget that you matter, you are valuable. Just because you had a child out of wedlock does not mean all hope is lost. It does not mean that your life is over. Your life is just beginning. And so just know that God can change your life around, but you have to believe it. You have to believe it. You have to have faith. You have to have blind faith. You have to have faith in the form of a mustard seed, because all it takes is having faith in the form of a mustard seed for your faith to grow. So with that said, I pray that you guys enjoy this video. If you want more videos like this, where I talk about the positive aspects of single motherhood or parenthood in general or anything like that, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the notification bell to stay notified when I do upload a new video. I will not be uploading videos as much every week. I might be able to upload videos twice a week, because I do have like something going on. I don't really want to share it yet. I might do a testimonial about it like later on in the month or in February or whenever. I don't know. I'm praying about it yet before I reveal why I won't be posting as much. But just know that I'm okay. I'm doing well. I've not forgotten about y'all. I've not left my YouTube channel. I'm not shutting my YouTube channel down or anything like that. I just have, let's say, other endeavors that I'm tending to. So yeah, so announcement about that. And yeah, so I thank you all for watching. I pray you all have a great day. Bye.
Yeah, I'm so like, yeah. Don't you know I'm a homebody? Don't even